You probably have been struggling for a very long time, having declined mental focus and clarity after like 4 p.m. in your day, and it's not your fault basically. It is the fault of your diet. So, what we eat is what we become, and when we eat something that is faulty, we basically destroy our engines, because if we give something that is wrong to a high ticket Ferrari engine, it will be destroyed really easily. So therefore, there's the thing that there are a lot of correlational studies out there, like a huge amount of correlational studies are pointing out eat a lot of vegetables, eat a lot of vegetable fiber, eat a lot of seed oils, so on. And there are those studies over around. And what we as high performing executives need to know is that these studies are not causational, so they don't imply anything really. They only show a correlation. So we should be looking at our physiology, at what actually human bodies are wanting to eat. First of all, I think we should look at plant physiology. So plant physiology is not that complex. So most of the plants can't move around, unlike animals. So they've developed other protection systems. They have phytates, oxalates, and other other anti-nutrients that are blocking absorption of our vital nutrients and are hurting our colon, making our gut hurt, because these were designed such that other animals don't eat those plants, because plants want to live like just anything else on the planet. So that's the first thing. So, and we need to distinguish between like plants and fruits, because fruits want to be eaten and the plants don't want to be eaten. So say for example, we have a tomato. Tomato is a fruit. We have a cabbage. Cabbage is a fruit. And fruits want to be eaten because fruits is the only part of the plant that wants to be eaten, because it allows the plant to spread. So it wants only to eat the plant wants you to only eat the flesh, and that's it. Nothing else but the flesh. So if we just remove all the anti-nutrients from our diet, and we remove seed oils, and we remove seeds, and we remove plants, like biological plants, we are left with seafood, animals, and fats from animals, and fruits, of course. So that's what the diet is. So the optimal diet for a human is to have balanced omega-3, omega-6 intake, and it was achieved in the early days of humans by naturally just gathering food. Currently, this is really hard, because a lot of food is used, like a lot of seed oils are used because they are cheap. So the 1-to-1 ratio is optimal. So what is more, there is also calcium to magnesium ratio and zinc to copper ratio, and there are many other ratios that we need to maintain in order to have optimal health, because it is not only vitamins, it is also minerals. Minerals are physics. If we have too much of some mineral, our body isn't good at down regulating minerals. So and just making our metabolism break. Okay, so the diet also includes the vitamins, because when you eat the right foods, right fruits, you are basically having all the vitamins out there in your body. So it is possible to achieve all the requirements of nutrients in your body, fully saturated with only these foods. And as early humans did, when we eat those in the morning, not in the evening or not in the sequence throughout the day, we maximize the speed of digestion of our food. Because the morning your body is the most prepared of digesting the food you are eating. When you are eating the food at the evening, the body is already down regulating itself so it can rest. And when you eat something, it doesn't hold on, bro, I've been already going to rest and you are not bothering me this ton of things to digest. So it is pretty hard on the body to digest it, and you also have your sleep quality. So eating once a day makes your body perform a process called autophagy and remove the cells in your body that are broken. So this allows to prevent cancer, for example. So there's the diet is a central thing in our performance, and most people don't notice it because it is it is just food. No, it is only the food. The food is the thing that defines you. When you eat wrong food, it defines you biologically in a wrong way. You could be working out, running, 100 kilometers a day, but if you eat wrong food, if you don't drink electrolytes, you will break down because body needs to be fueled properly. So company needs to have good employees. You need to have good fuel. So I think that the diet is the best thing you can do for yourself right now, because many of the current advice is broken and fragmented for the science community, and what is more, it is always debated. But here I've used human physiology, and it is not something we can debate over. Of course, we can say, this is only theory. This is only theory. What if physiology doesn't work that way? What if there is another system that interferes with this system? Of course. But the thing is that correlation studies are so inaccurate that they are worthless. It is better to focus on physiology than to focus on your correlation studies that are made all over the world. Focus on broken sometimes, and they make populations out of Americans that eat burgers, and they switch them to plant-based diet so they feel healthier. Of course they feel healthier. So the main thing is, if you stop eating the bullshit and you start eating the real food that God prepared for us to eat, we will feel healthier. You can find a blueprint of the D diet down in the description below, and see you on D diet implementation plan.